Hello, this is Aaron from Lo-Fi and DIY, and I wanted to show you how to install the exoskeleton, installing the instant back conversions for packfilm cameras. I'll be going through first the XOIS, and then I'll be going through the XOIW kit. And the first one I'm going to install onto a 180. The XOIS goes onto a 180. And the second will go on a plastic camera. That would be the automatic 225. Okay, so let's go ahead and get started. First off, you will notice that you have this exoskeleton here, and I included a drawing here on the steps to go through to install it. But sometimes this can get confusing because it is a fairly confusing looking thing, fairly new looking thing. Nobody has this sort of thing, so it's kind of confusing. So first off, your EXO needs to be installed on a camera without the door. Okay, so you just pull the hinge pin, slide the door off, and now you've got a conversion ready camera. Okay, now I'm going to go ahead and take this. This is the back, and I line it up and install it. Okay, like that. And then basically you take this tab, go like that. Now it locked down. It is locked in place. Okay, that's all there is to installing the back. Now comes the tricky part. That would be the exoskeleton front, and this is so you can focus the camera. That's what this is for. Okay, so first off, we'll put the viewfinder up, and we'll release the front bellows and lock it out in the out position like this. Okay, fully out. Now what we do is we go ahead and we rotate this in this position here so that we can put this part right here right down onto this front of the standard, this little pin that comes up from the standard there. So once you get that in position, we'll go ahead and gently rotate everything back like this, almost in position. Okay, so you can see, then we'll go ahead and I'll just rotate it that way you can see it. I'm going to go ahead and push this in place. Okay. This side is locked in. Now I want to lock this side in. Okay, I pushed it in place. Okay. Now in order to get this, you'll notice that there's this distance here. In order to get this to go all the way back, because this is going to be a front standard situation that's shorter, okay, what you have to do is you have to press down on this bar right here and pull your front standard back in. So hold on to the bar, and it releases the front standard to where it can go all the way back. And now you'll notice at the front of the camera, this part right here is nice and straight, and then you go ahead and assemble it here. And you just rotate that pin in right here. Okay. Okay. Okay, so there you have it. It is now completely installed. Okay, and you'll see at the front, as I move this jack back and forth, this is moving in and out, but it's moving with the appropriate setback. You'll also notice that this right here says IS for Instax square on this part. This is the only part that changes when I go from Instax square to Instax wide. The rest of the exoskeleton stays the same. There's one other step you can take, and it's really entirely up to you. Right there, you'll note that there is a indentation. If you want, you can add something tiny, like a tiny wire or a zip pie or something like that right there, and it'll make it a little bit more permanent. It shouldn't pop out anyway, but that will help to make sure that it's permanent. So basically there it is. That's all you have to do to install this kit. Let's go ahead and move on to the Instax wide kit. I'll set this aside. And let's move this over here. Again, we're going with the exoskeleton for the Instax wide. The only thing that has changed here is this says IW on it. It's Instax wide, just that little part of that strut. The only thing that changed. I took this metal back off and put the pin right back in there. Very simple. And you might be asking, why would I go with a simple little plastic one like this? It is amazing the difference in weight. That door was metal, and now the whole thing's plastic. So it's very, very light. I think the only metal then would be this piece here, and of course the front strut. So let's go ahead and quickly install this. Again, we're just going by the same instructions. And I'm going to go ahead and pop this in place and rotate it, do everything like that. Okay. First thing we do is we put this in place. Like this. Again, this goes together a lot faster when I'm not trying to do it in front of a camera. So I go like this, rotate that down. Okay, make sure this locks in place. It is locked in place. Okay, now I've got the back on. That's all I had to do there. Okay, now I want to go ahead and do the exoskeleton again. So, you know, when you eject this, lift this up, that pops out. So I pop it out. Let's go ahead and extend it all the way. Let's go ahead and grab the exoskeleton, like so. I'm going to move it back a little bit so I can see it better. Okay, we're going to just put this down over here. Let's move this out of the way. Put this down over here. Let's slide right over it. It is a little bit of a snug fit, but it slid on there pretty good. Okay, now we're going to rotate this whole thing back in place like this. Okay, again, we're going to install it, like line it up and pop it on here like this. Nice snug fit, there we go. And now, remember how we ran into this situation before where we're trying to close this gap here. So let me go ahead and remove this real quick. This is just the thumb screw. I'll set it aside right here. Okay, we're trying to get rid of this gap. So what I'm going to do now is I press down on this. This is the metal bar that says press. And you push that little metal bar that says press, push it in a little bit. And we're just going to go ahead and move the front stander gently back until that lines up right there. And now that is pointing straight ahead. Okay, now we put this screw in place. Once I get this in here, put this screw in place, this thumb screw, and we'll go ahead and tighten it down. There we go. Okay, we're almost done. These thumb screws take a while. Well, at any rate, basically you just put the thumb screw in there. It's nice and long. And when you are done, just like the other one, you now have that in place. This is actually ready to shoot. And like I said before, if you actually put a little zip tie or a little piece of wire on there, it'll hold it even more firm, but it should hold just fine. And now you can see I can move it in and out using the strut. Okay, and like I said, tighten that thumb screw down. For brevity, I'll just go ahead and leave that part out. Okay, so here we go. We've gone through both installs. The only thing that really changes is this. The first step is the very quickest step. That's putting the entire back on. And then the exoskeleton, if you watch the video, you will see it is a little awkward, but it does come together nice and clean. Okay, thank you.